if you put Carrie Fisher and Kirstie Alley into the same film, I'm going to watch it. Granted, I'd watch it if it was just one or the other, but it makes it a little bit more special. Loverboy is a 1989 film, and I have to say, while it got off to a really slow start, I think it picked up eventually and had a really interesting concept. The execution wasn't perfect, but it was pretty decent. This was directed by Joan Micklin Silver and written by Robert Schiff. And I'm going to read the description from IMDb because I think it gives a pretty accurate overview without giving any spoilers. Randy is still unfocused after 2 years in college. His dad will no longer pay tuition and Randy gets a job delivering pizzas. Several cute cougars pay him $200 for pizza delivery and, in quotations, services rendered. Then it just says their husbands, ? So basically, Randy, played by Patrick Dempsey, is a young pizza delivery boy, and to certain households, he gets extra money for doing not necessarily sexual favors all the time, but certainly by being semi-naked and dancing and spending time with these wives. Most of the wives have husbands who are away or cheating on them, and he delivers pizza and gives them extra. Kind of seedy when I say it like that. But as a narrative, it's pretty interesting to see this young boy getting into these very odd situations. And what was particularly funny, without spoiling anything, is that there was one house he went to where he just assumed he would be getting extra money for extra services, but that person had no idea. And, well, it was pretty entertaining. A bit disturbing and eerie, but very entertaining. So I'd say the first maybe half an hour of the film kind of drags by. It's really slow. Yes, it's given us time to get to know Randy as a character and some of the other characters, but I didn't really think it was that exciting. But once it kind of kicked up a gear and he started to do these deliveries, it became quite entertaining, a little funny, not hysterical, but more so ludicrous that it's quite entertaining. Would I have liked it as much if Carrie Fisher and Kirstie Alley were not in it? Probably not, because their two key scenes were my favourite moments in it. Kirstie Alley looked drop dead. She looked absolutely amazing. And Carrie Fisher plays a photographer. And I love her attitude in this. I love her facial expressions. I think she's pretty perfect, but I'm biased. There's nothing wrong with the acting in this. There's nothing wrong with the camera angles. There's nothing wrong with the soundtrack, although I didn't think it was particularly memorable, but there's certainly nothing wrong with it, nothing bad about it. There is nothing bad about this film. I'd say if I had to pinpoint anything that needed improvement, it would be the pacing in the first third of the film at the most. But once it gets going, it's pretty enjoyable. It's ludicrous at times. It's completely unrealistic in certain situations. But it's good fun, and it was a nice way to spend, I don't know, an hour and a half, maybe a bit longer. It was decent. Would I have watched it were it not for Fisher and Alley? No. Probably definitely would never have been on my radar. I don't think I'd heard of it until recently. Would I watch it again? I would certainly watch Carrie Fisher's scenes again. But would I watch the entire film? Probably not. Nevertheless, it's an interesting premise with a pretty decent execution, and I think you will like it.